Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today we bring you a story of a man who redefined Hollywood's golden image of strength, loyalty, and heart. This is the story of Kevin Michael Costner, a man whose career, much like the characters he portrayed, has been about resilience, determination, and never backing down in the face of challenges. Sit back, stay with us until the end, and feel the journey of a boy who dreamed big, who became one of Hollywood's most beloved actors and filmmakers, and who touched millions of hearts across the globe. Kevin Costner was born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California, and raised in Compton. His early life was not about fame or glamour. It was about family, faith, and hard work. He was the youngest of three boys in a family that struggled like many others. His father worked as an electrician, and his mother took care of the home. Kevin was not born with Hollywood in his backyard. His dreams started small, just like any boy who stared at the sky wondering if there was more out there for him. Growing up, Kevin was never the loudest in the room. He wasn't the star athlete, nor the best student. He described himself as an average kid with average grades, but what set him apart was his imagination and his ability to dream. He loved stories, music, and the idea of becoming something greater than his surroundings suggested. He once admitted that his path wasn't clear. He didn't know he was destined for Hollywood greatness until much later in life. That honesty of not knowing, yet pushing forward is what makes his story so relatable. When Kevin was a teenager, he moved with his family to Orange County. It was here that he began to find himself. He played sports, enjoyed music, and even sang in the Baptist church choir. But still, he wasn't sure who he was meant to become. After finishing high school, Kevin attended California State University, Fullerton, where he studied business. Imagine that one of the greatest actors and filmmakers of his generation once sat in classrooms learning marketing and management, thinking his life might turn out completely different. But life has a way of guiding us, and Kevin discovered theater. He fell in love with acting, not because it promised him fame or wealth, but because it gave him freedom. Acting allowed him to tell stories, to step into the shoes of others, and to explore emotions that were sometimes too big for ordinary life. For the first time, Kevin felt purpose. After graduating in 1978, Kevin decided to pursue acting full-time. It was not easy. Hollywood is filled with dreamers, and very few make it. Kevin struggled. He worked odd jobs, including driving trucks, giving tours, and even working as a carpenter. At one point, he slept in his car, clinging to the belief that someday, someone would give him a chance. That perseverance, that refusal to quit is what defines Costner. He knew deep down that failure wasn't an option, even if the world told him otherwise. And then came fate. On a flight back from Mexico, Kevin met actor Richard Burton. Burton encouraged him to pursue acting seriously, telling him that if he wanted it, he needed to give it everything. That moment became a turning point. It wasn't an instant ticket to stardom, but it lit a fire in Kevin that never went out. His early career was filled with small parts, background roles, and rejections. But he never let those no's define him. His breakthrough came when director Lawrence Kasdan cast him in The Big Chill 1983. Ironically, most of his scenes were cut from the film, but Kasdan remembered him. A few years later, Kasdan cast Kevin in Silverado 1985, and suddenly Hollywood began to notice him. Kevin's rise in the late 1980s and early 1990s was nothing short of remarkable. Films like The Untouchables 1987 and No Way Out 1987 showcased his talent, charisma, and ability to carry a story. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't trying to be the loudest star in the room. Instead, Kevin brought authenticity, vulnerability, and quiet strength to his characters. Then came Field of Dreams 1989, a movie that wasn't just about baseball, it was about hope, forgiveness, and the magic of believing in something bigger than yourself. Kevin's performance as Ray Kinsella touched millions, and the line "If you build it, he will come" became part of American culture. People cried, not because of the game, but because Kevin helped remind them of fathers, families, and second chances. But his greatest triumph came in 1990, when he directed and starred in Dances with Wolves. Hollywood doubted him. Studios thought it was too long, too ambitious, and destined to fail. But Kevin believed in the story. He put his heart and soul into the film, and the result was breathtaking. Dances with Wolves won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Director and Best Picture. Kevin went from being an actor to a filmmaker who had conquered Hollywood's highest honor. Success followed with films like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves 1991, JFK 1991, and The Bodyguard 1992, with Whitney Houston, a film that not only broke box office records, but gave the world one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Kevin was now a global icon. Yet, even with success, Costner faced failures. Films like Waterworld 1995 and The Postman 1997 were criticized and mocked. Many said his career was over. But Kevin never let the world write his ending. He kept going, kept telling stories, and kept proving that failure is just part of the journey. Through the 2000s and beyond, Kevin reinvented himself. He took on roles in smaller films, television projects, and eventually returned to prominence with his role in the hit series Yellowstone. As John Dutton, the patriarch of the Dutton family, Kevin once again captured audiences with his strength, vulnerability, and grit. Yellowstone became one of the most watched shows in America, proving that Kevin's star was not only alive but shining brighter than ever. Beyond the screen, Kevin Costner is also a man of music, family, and deep values. He formed a country rock band, called Kevin Costner and Modern West, touring and sharing his love for storytelling through song. He is also a father of 7 children, and despite the pressures of Hollywood, he has always placed family at the center of his life. Kevin's journey is more than just a Hollywood story. It is a reminder that success doesn't come overnight, that failures don't define you, and that belief in yourself can take you places others said were impossible. He was the boy from Compton who became an Oscar-winning filmmaker, the struggling actor who became the face of American cinema, and the man who continues to inspire millions with his work on screen and off. As we look back at Kevin Costner's life, one thing is clear: he never gave up. His story is not just about Hollywood, but about resilience, passion, and the courage to dream. And perhaps that's why audiences love him, because in his story, they see a part of their own. So, to everyone listening, this is Kevin Costner's journey, a story of glory, a story of perseverance, a story of never letting go of the dream. Thank you for staying with us till the end. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nation of Glory. Your support keeps these stories alive and helps us bring you more inspiring journeys from the world of Hollywood. See you in the next one.